The implementation of fracture mechanics can be looked into two basic approaches. The first one is known as linear elastic fracture mechanics approach, or LEFM. And the second is elastic plastic fracture mechanics, or EPFM. The LEFM approach, which is on the right hand side, is the one which started first. The work by Griffith and Irwin in 1920s to 1950s, based on energy based approach, led to what is known as energy release rate factor G approach, and the second is stress intensity factor based approach, which is again based on Irwin's work in 1948. So both these models assume, or both these approaches assume, that the material is perfectly elastic, linear elastic, and under this assumption, these models have been developed. The theory has been developed. Interestingly, although it is an ideal situation, but for many of the engineering materials, this approach works perfectly. During the later time, that is around 1960s, the behavior, which includes the plasticity of the material, has started, and in this direction, again there are two approaches. One is energy based, which is known as J integral based approach, and the fourth one is known as crack tip opening displacement, or CTOD approach. So out of these four approaches, in today's session we will be looking into the stress intensity based approach. The features of linear elastic fracture mechanics are as below. First thing is, for brittle materials, this approach is very much natural, as the material remains elastic even at the crack tip. So for very brittle materials such as diamond or glass, this is an ideal approach, or this is a perfect approach. So it is exactly matching with the material behavior for these things. Obviously, most of the engineering materials do not exhibit that level of brittleness. So the steel which is very commonly used is obviously very much different than glass. For cases where the plastic zone size is much small than the crack length, the LEFM approach works very well. And for many of the situations where the crack size is not very large, or you are not applying very huge loads for small cracks, in such cases the LEFM approach works pretty well. Because your material model is linear elastic, the analysis is much simpler. Many closed form solutions are available for this approach, and that makes this approach very attractive for day-to-day calculations. To get the first hand or the first feel of the situation, the LEFM calculations provide a very good prediction of whether a more rigorous calculations would be required or no. So that is why we are learning the LEFM approach. Before we go into details of the LEFM, let's have first understanding into the basic uh, work done in fracture mechanics, which was done somewhere in 1920s by Griffith. So his approach was considering an energy approach. That is, whenever you are applying load on a body around the body which has got crack, when crack propagates, the provided work done by the external forces gets converted into energy, which is utilized for propagation of the cracks. His work, one of the aspect that he was looking into is that there was at that time anomaly was known in terms of theoretically or physics based strength of material and actual strength of the material. So based on the physics, which the expression which gives here, the ultimate tensile strength of the material, the strength or the stress at which the material should break, can be given in terms of modulus of elasticity of material, the specific energy to create new surface, which can be fundamentally obtained, and A0, which is interatomic spacing. So this is a physics-based formula by which the scientists found that the ultimate tensile strength of the material should be modulus of elasticity divided by 10 to modulus of elasticity divided by 100. So that is the range which was expected. However, all the engineering materials, the strength was almost one tenth of what the physics predicted or whatever theory predicted. So what was the reason for this huge difference? So one tenth reduction in strength as compared to the theoretical model is the one which was getting investigated. So Griffith did fundamental work in this particular area. It was well known that material contains micro defects. So assume that uh, the defects are of certain size. So he considered the certain crack geometry which is shown in the figure here. So for a certain crack lengths which may be present in the material of length 2a, he used stress concentration based approach. Remember at this time fracture mechanics was not existing as a separate branch. So they were very well aware of the stress concentration. So he worked on how much will be the stress concentration at the geometric hole into a material which is having the dimensions as shown here. And his analysis showed that if you consider cracks of zero point 0.5 micrometer size, which are very much practically known to exist in the material, the reduction in theoretical strength from to the one tenth of that of the theoretical strength can be justified. So this is where the first confidence into the approach for presence of cracks and its importance to explain the behavior of material was given.